You won't none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Russ, the Tar Heel, and I'm here with my boy Lenzell from 94 Feet of UNC, man, and we're going to talk a little Carolina basketball in this episode, man. So, Lenzell, what's going on, big dog? How you doing?
Listen, man, I got to say, you always bring the energy. You already know I love it when you flex a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you know that always makes me feel good right there, Russ. So, but nah, man, I'm glad to be here, man. I appreciate you for having me on or whatever. Of course, everybody. I'm Lenzell Graham. I be in the chats all the time, talking to Russ during the games and everything. But I'm from 94 Feet of UNC podcast, and we just doing some big things over there, man. But of course, I'm following in the footsteps of one of the greats here. You know what I'm saying? One of the GOATs right here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy to be here, bro. I'm ready to talk some hoops. You know I love talking UNC hoops. So
100%.
We here, man. We here for sure.
100%, big dog. So I really appreciate you joining me, Lenzell, man. We're right after the regular season, man. I'm actually sitting here watching the ACC tournament right now. I got Wake Forest and Virginia Tech on the TV. And I wanted to kind of just talk a little bit, about, expectations. Have we met expectations this year? What kind of job do you think coach has done? Basically, with the regular season, with all the different variables that we got going on, man, with the injuries, offensive scheme, defensive scheme, and once again, man, just really honing in on, is Carolina basketball in a healthy spot right now? And then, we'll kind of finish things up with expectations that we have for the ACC and the NCAA tournament, man. What do you think is acceptable? And, what do you think would kind of be a letdown based on how Carolina performs? And then we kind of got a little bonus topic that we'll talk about at the very end of this thing, man. So we'll talk about that over there, man. So make sure you stick around. But like I said, man, first and foremost, big dog, what were your preseason expectations, man, for Carolina this year? And would you say, Lenzell, that you think that we've met those expectations?
So, it's crazy that you asked me that, because I remember before the season started, you was over on my platform and we had this discussion. And the question that I used to always ask guests, when they came on and we was doing the show was, I used to always do the over and under. Mm-hmm. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I said that Carolina would win 27 games this season, and that was like the over or under, and kind of made everybody kind of make a decision or something and pick the over or the under. And right. I vaguely remember, I think you picked the under. I think you was right there, but I think you picked the under. Yeah. And so that question to me, I think that Carolina has exceeded their expectations.
Okay.
And the reason why is for a number of reasons. Number one, nobody gave or expected Carolina to be where they are right now or this year. Like, nobody gave them any credit. They picked on the fact that, we had a alleged $14 million roster.
Right. And,
it's been one of them things. It's been very quiet from a lot of the media out there when it comes to Carolina, outside of UNC's, podcasters or whatever.
Right.
And, I think that I think they really did exceed the expectations. I mean, we're right now at 24. I think we're right at 24 win. 20. Yeah. So, and I mean, we're under single digits in losses. I mean, we can't be mad at that, especially if we're gonna look back at what happened last season, and then now we're up to this season. If I'm not mistaken, I think 6-7 losses or something like that. And I think that I just think that we've done a really good job, and I think that UNC is in the right spot and in the right place of where they need to be in regards to getting back to UNC basketball. And, you know, it starts, you know, with the staff and the head coach. It starts at the head of the snake. And and that's just where I am. But, you know, shout out to the media out there. They're going to do what media does. They're going to pick on UNC. And, you know, I think this year is more so, you know, I think Kentucky took a lot of the heat off of Carolina this year.
That's fair enough, man. That's fair enough.
Yeah. So I mean, and shout out to Kentucky for that. We appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
But you know, I'm happy with where they are. I'm happy with, you know, what's been done. And I'm looking forward to what's gonna happen in the, you know, in regards to moving in the right direction. To get this program back to where it's known to be. Right.
Yeah, I think before the season, man, I was real adamant that 100%, man, we had to get the double bye in the ACC tournament. Right. I think we talked about that over on your channel, man, and I was like, bro, there's no excuse for us not to get a double bye in the ACC tournament, man. We're Carolina. You know, we got a decent recruiting class. Obviously, Caleb Wilson came in. And, you know, maybe this is just poor, you know, scouting on my part, man. I had no idea. I knew Caleb was going to be good. I had no idea he was going to be that dude. And Caleb Wilson is that dude. And so, you know, based everything that I had heard and seen in the preseason didn't prepare me for how good he actually was. Is, if you will. And, you know, so I remember saying like, hey, third or fourth overall in the ACC, have to get a double bye. And considering the fact that Carolina has, you know, their top three scorers, Seth Trimble, Henry Vasar, and now Caleb Wilson, obviously, who's out for the remainder of the year, unfortunately, you know, their top three scorers have missed time. And so the fact that Carolina's sitting at 24-7 right now, they did lock up the fourth overall seed. I would have to say that based on my preseason expectations, I think that Carolina's kind of exceeded them. And if they hadn't dealt with all the injuries, man, they may have even greater exceeded them. You know, I still don't think, man, that Carolina healthy loses to NC State and Raleigh. Don't think that it happens, bro. Yeah. You know, I think that they caught Carolina unfortunately down in that game, you know, and not to mention they didn't have Henry Vasar or Caleb Wilson. I don't think that game happens that way with both of those guys on the floor. You know, maybe the Miami game still happens. That was just a weird feeling game. Maybe that's still an L. Who knows? And I still, yeah, exactly. The hangover game, you know, down there. And, you know, I mean, you know, we can go back and forth on Duke, man. We'll probably talk about that here in a little bit. You know, just on whether or not Carolina could have won that game or not. Because I think there's a lot of people that think that Carolina's incapable of winning that game without Caleb Wilson. And I kind of have a differing opinion on that. And we'll talk about that here in a second when we talk about the next topic. But, you know, long story short, man, I think Carolina's exceeded expectations. I think, you know, once again, with the top three guys being injured and just having to maneuver through that, to be 24-7 with a double bye in the ACC tournament is pretty dadgum good, all things considered. And I think we're in a decent spot as far as 2025, 2026 is, you know, as far as that's considered, man. So, you know, with that being said, like you said, we got to talk about the headband, you know, and just the job that Coach Davis has done this year. You know, what do you like about the offensive scheme, you know, defensive scheme, the roster management? You know, we could talk about these kind of individually, obviously. I want to talk about kind of, once again, how well he's maneuvered around the injuries, and just how you think that any of these variables have impacted Carolina's overall record.
So, and shout out to HD, man. Really good guy. Had the chance to meet him. You know, especially when I went to the Kansas game back, I was just in the locker room and everything, and really had a chance to kind of sit down and talk with him and Coach Williams at the same time. Like I didn't know what to say, honestly. I was just in awe, to be honest with you, because I'd never been back there. But big shout out to Ray Terry for that. You know what I'm saying? For looking out for me. But I like what HD has did. I think that people they are out there still criticizing him by, they still I know a lot of people, even in my Discord, are basically still want him gone.
Right.
And I'm just thinking, like, it's kind of like one of those things, you damn if you do, you damn if you don't. And HD has done an incredible job. He's built this roster. I don't think he could have built it any better. Maybe in the guard spot, because a lot of people are still, they question our backcourt. But in regards to everything else, I mean, I don't think you can get it no better than that front court that we have with Caleb and Henry. Like, the way that the two of them just mesh with each other, and by them being so big and 6'10" and 7 foot or whatever, that takes up a lot of space in the paint. Right. And the way that they know, okay, if Henry is down low, then let me kind of push out a little bit. Let me come out a little bit and let him go to work, and vice versa. And then, the alley-oops to each other is just an incredible job all the way around for what Coach Davis has done. The things that I can say that maybe bother me just a little bit is, I think that throughout the season, we've done a lot of switching. Yeah. And that switching can kill you. Like, it literally can kill you. And I think it might have even, that might have been one of the big reasons for this past weekend, with the Duke game. I think we did a little bit too much switching. I think we did a little bit too much doubling too. Like, soon as Boozer was touching the ball, it was like a double team. And I'm like, bro, let him work a little bit. Right. Like, give the man a chance to kind of tire himself out a little bit before you get over there and start doubling. Like, and let him work to find somebody that's open. If he finds somebody and they open and they hit the shot, fine. But let him work a little bit first. Like, don't just give him that, because he already knows he's a smart player. Yes, very smart player. Yep. So he already knows that the double is coming. And you got all of these other guys that could go off at any moment in the 3-point area, with Slim and Sar and the rest of these guys. So I think that Carolina's problem has just been the switching all season. Right. I think that they've done a really good job with not, turning the ball over, like they were in the beginning of the season. Defense is picked up, because I think if I'm not mistaken, their defensive, what is it? The defense, they're ranked what in defense? I'm
not sure what they're ranked. I know they're giving up about 70 points per game. Yeah.
So I mean, the defense is solid, but it could have been a whole lot better. Right. And, because you got a lot of defenders. You got Trimble. I think Jaden Young is a solid defender. Jonathan Powell has really stepped it up on the defensive end. Luka's still maybe a step too slow. But, again, I think that's just adjusting from coming overseas or whatever, because it's two totally different ball styles. Style of basketball, I guess you could say. So, and I mean, but for the most part, I'm gonna just say overall, I think Coach Davis has done a really good job. And like me and you were talking before we jumped on air and everything, that this absolutely could be his best season in coaching, just because of the way that he was able to pivot and move things around or whatever to for this team throughout all of the injuries that we have faced. That, like you said, all three starters have been in some sort of injury and have missed a lot of the games that we have played. And for him to be able to adjust the way that he did, then, I mean, you got to tilt your hat off to him. And I just think that, if I had to rank him from, a A or B or something like that, I would definitely give him a B plus. A minus, something around there, just because, you know, his back was against the wall. He was all on this, you know, before the season started, it was all of the hot seat talk, you know, stuff like that. So I think all of that has died down. I don't think there is no hot seat conversations. Yeah. And, you know, he's done a really good job. And I think he has the program now going in the right direction or whatever. I think he's kind of gotten out of his own way, and he's now seeing what's going on out there. And now he's starting to take advantage of it.
Right. Yeah, I'm like I definitely, because we're like you said, we're talking about it before we went hot, man. Is, you know, I do think that this is arguably his best job coaching, man, and I think a lot of that, just like you said, is predicated off of just the ability of him to maneuver around those guys getting injured. His three best scorers, man, getting injured. Sometimes two of them, you know, in each game, and so you really do got to tip your hat with his ability to just string together some wins, man. You know, down a couple of guys and just maneuvering through that. You know, roster management wise, I'm obviously pleased with the front court, man. I think Caleb Wilson and Henry Vasar together, healthy, is the best backcourt in basketball. Now, there's things that, you know, Henry doesn't do as well as I'd like him to do, you know, and we could talk about this at a later date, whether he needs to come back or not. I think he's really struggling rebounding the basketball. I think sometimes, as of late, man, he's relying a little bit too much on his length, and he's not doing a very good job, man, of boxing out. You know, that's just my personal opinion. You know, sometimes he struggles to kind of back somebody down under the basket. So I'd like to see him work on that lower body strength and really be able to post somebody up. Because when he gets 2-3 feet from the bucket, man, it's almost automatic. 7-1, bro. A little jump hook, man, that's going to be almost impossible. Unless you come a weak side to erase that thing, man, he's going to cook all day. He's just got to be able to establish better position down there on the block. And I think that he struggles with that. You know, and a lot of times he gets the ball too far away from the basket because he's just not getting that good initial position. But, you know, with all that being said, him and Caleb work fantastic together on that little two-man game down there in the paint, bro. One of them is up at the elbow and one's down on the block. Man, that's a beautiful thing to watch, especially when they're throwing oops to each other and stuff like that. And I really do appreciate Coach making that a focal point of the offense, you know, for, you know, a good amount of time until we started getting the injuries to both of them. And obviously now they're not playing together. Really wish that we would have been a little bit more solid, you know, in the backcourt. You know, I think Seth is the one guy that can kind of push the tempo. Seth is the one guy that can really get up and down the floor. And I don't even necessarily, as much as I love Seth, you know, I don't know that that's what you really want, you know, when he's the one guy that can kind of, you know, push the tempo. Derek has shot the ball well. Obviously, Kyan has not shot the ball well at all. And that's been a big surprise for a lot of us. We won't delve too much into that, but I really like the front court. I think the back court needs some work. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people think that our ceiling is a little bit lower. Although I really like when Derek Dixon's playing well, man, he can play. You know, he can play on both ends of the floor, man. And you know, I'm really excited about what he can bring. I don't know that he's Carolina's point guard of the future. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that, you know. But the kid can play. He's been big this year in a couple of games, man. And you know, so I'm good there. Defensively, like you said, bro, one of the things that has bothered me all season, and that's just keeping it 100, is switching. I mean, you know, I remember when Roy was there, not to necessarily compare, but when Roy was there, man, we would hedge at the top on that high ball screen to push the guard away from the basket, you know, and then that just allows that guard to recover, and then the big man can get back on his big. And we're not doing that, and I think teams know that. You know, as much as I hate John Shire, dude, he's not a dummy, and he knows that he's going to get that switch at the top. And so now you got a point guard, you got your five matched up on their point guard and your point guard down low on a boozer. How many times do we see Seth Trimble down there
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
And it's just like, it's like, come on, man. Like Seth is, first of all, Boozer's a strong kid, one-on-one, he's going to back Seth down below the rim every stinking time, Yeah. And so I don't understand why we continue to switch, why we don't edge sometimes or just play straight up. So I've been personally frustrated with that, man. I don't think that I'm the only Tar Heel fan that's been frustrated with that scheme. Right. And I do think that it's kind of hampered us a little bit, man, from time to time, bro. To be completely honest with you, man. And so there's good and there's bad, and I'm simultaneously saying that I think that this is the best job that he's done this year. Especially like I said, just maneuvering around the injuries, man. I really wish that we could kind of revamp the way that we're defending. I don't think that we've been a very good defending team on the perimeter, just keeping guys out the paint. Just resistance at the top, man, and not letting everybody it seems like everybody can dribble drive, and we're not getting a lot of resistance out there at the top. That's just kind of how I feel. But as far as what coach has done, I do think that this is his best coaching job. And but I'll push back a little bit, man, where I think that I still believe, man, that based off what we do in both of these tournaments, could impact on how people feel, man. Do we make a little run? And obviously we'll talk about that at the end of the season. Because the job is not done yet. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about, where we're at right now. And, just basically what coach has done. Best job that I think he's done with the pieces that he's had, having to maneuver around all those injured players and everything. And we're 24-7, 4th overall seed with a double bye. And hopefully we can I'm hoping to get a 5th seed, man, but I still think that, unless we make a little run here, it'll probably be a 6th seed. Is that kind of how you feel, or?
Yeah, I'm right on that 5-6 line. I think that the ACC right now is just the tournament itself is going to be tough. Because the way that if I'm not mistaken, let me look, because I'm looking at the scores here. Out of the 3 opponents that we would have to possibly match up with, we beat Wake Forest by 3.
Right.
We beat Clemson by 4. We beat Virginia Tech by 7. So we struggled against these teams, bro.
Right. We weren't whooping up on nobody,
Right. I think the Wake Forest was a little bit. The Wake Forest game, we really could have took care of business in that one. The Clemson game, I mean, that they in Chapel Hill, and the thing is that we played all 3 games at home, and we still fought tooth and nail to get the W's.
Right.
And I'm just, it's gonna be tough. Because if you get past one of the 3, because I don't know who's winning now between Virginia Tech and Wake Forest, but
I think Wake Forest is up by 4 right now at the half.
Yeah. So, if I had to pick a team, give me Wake Forest. I don't want to see Toby Lawal from Virginia Tech and him and Hansberry. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see Godfrey from Clemson. I just don't want to see that. So, but and then if we get past both of them, now we got the juggernaut again.
Yep.
I don't mind playing them, and I'm with you. I do think that we are the better team over Duke. I really do. And now with them being down 2 players, it's definitely more evenly matched. The problem is Carolina they got to shoot better too. Yeah. Like Duke beat us, points off of turnovers was like 24-5.
24-4.
Like that's it. Yep. Yeah. So, and then they beat us on the offensive rebounds. That was like 18-5, just on the offensive rebounds alone.
Right.
So, but the bright side and the good side about it is we shot better than them in field goal percentage, and we shot better than them in 3-point percentage.
Right.
So they struggled a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you this, Russ. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't mind playing Duke in the ACC tournament, but I'm not a big fan of rubber matches. I'm just going to be honest with you. They don't give me that same feel like Duke coming to Chapel Hill or Carolina going to Hansborough Indoor Stadium. Like, they just don't give me the same vibe. Game day is there. It's a totally different feel. You know, you was in Chapel Hill this year. Like,
amazing.
So,
yep.
So,
amazing.
I mean, yeah. So, the rubber matches, you're on a neutral court. It is what it is. Would I like to beat them? Absolutely. But, I mean, if we get the W, then let's get the W. If we don't, it's not a big thing to me. But I am still right on that 5-6 line for the NCAA tournament. I think in order, like you said, in order for us to like really go to get maybe a 5, possibly maybe a 4, the highest would be a 3, maybe, if we win the whole tournament.
A whole tournament. Yeah.
I'm cool with a 3. I'm cool with a 3, but I mean, a lot of work to be done for us.
A lot of work.
And I think we can do it. We just got to lock in. We got to lock in.
Yeah.
Heavy. So
going into, possible seeding and everything, what do you think? What do you anticipate seeing from Carolina, man, in the ACC tournament? Based off of who we have on the schedule, let's just say we're probably going to play Clemson. I think that's probably going to be our first game. And then more than likely it's going to be Duke. So what are your expectations for Carolina? What do you think you'll see? How far do we go in the ACC tournament? And then what kind of run, if any, do you think we can make in the NCAA tournament?
So as far as the ACC tournament, I think we can still get past Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the reasons why Clemson was maybe played us a little bit too close was we didn't know that Godfrey was going to do what he did. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was a career high that he had.
Yeah, he hooped, man. Yep.
Yeah. So, and he's a big body, huge body. And I think we need to, if we can figure that part out, Clemson's defense is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But their offense is very up and down. It's very up and down. And, it depends on what Clemson team we get. But, I mean, I think, of course, again, there's a few things like HD always says. Number one, got to take care of the basketball, got to defend, got to rebound.
Mm-hmm.
Those 3. If you do those 3, everything else is going to follow it, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I think we squeezed past Clemson again. And as far as going up against Duke, I think we beat Duke if we end up playing them in the tournament, to be honest, like in a rubber match. I just think that, if we play inside out, that could be where our advantage is. Now, don't get me wrong, Malik Brown is a solid defender, but at the same time, we know that Big Pat is not going to play for the ACC tournament, and that's to Carolina's advantage. Like, we got a lot of bigs that we can use because Duke is very. I mean, now with Big Pat out, your only backup is Malik Brown. You have nobody else. The only thing that you can do is whether you're gonna put Boozer on Vazar in the paint.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's gonna go well. Now, don't get me wrong, Boozer is strong, but I don't think that that's gonna go well. So Duke is very thin, and I think that if we can get some lockdown defenders on Slim and Dame and everything, I'm not worried about Caden. Not worried about Caden Boozer. He hasn't really showed up all season long like that. But then you got to just kind of worry about those other ones like the Nick Kamenias, Darren Harris, but I'm not really too concerned about him. But he's not one that you got to leave open either.
Right.
So I think we squeeze past Duke if we can do that. Now that last matchup, it's very tough. That's a very tough one because I don't know who we're gonna get, and if it's Virginia, I haven't been high on Virginia. I think they're a little bit overrated to me. Honestly, I do not think right now they got them as like a top 10 team, and I don't think Virginia's top 10 at all.
Yeah.
But if they end up playing us, I mean, their front court is loaded. And that's where it's going to cause us some problems.
I was going to say, but I would still rather play Miami. I would rather play UVA than Miami again. I'd rather play UVA than Miami again, dog. Because the Canes, man, were eating down low too, man. They got some athletes down in the front court. I would rather play. That's just me. I'd rather play UVA.
Miami's big.
They're big.
I mean,
and they got some athletic dudes down there too, man.
Yeah, so but I would like to play them too for some get back because it's kind of like a grudge game too because that's where C-Dub got hurt,
right?
And it's like,
yeah, you're right.
It ain't gonna be what they thought it was this time, So, I think we get to the finals. We get to the finals. I don't know if we win it. I got Miami, honestly, and I love Carolina, and I'm going to probably get some pushback for this. But I got Miami, honestly, winning the whole tournament. The ACC tournament,
yeah. I don't think that's a bad... I mean, I really don't think that's a bad pick, man.
Right.
I don't think it's a bad pick, especially with Duke being down there, two guys. Like I said, I'm hoping... first of all, I'm really upset that Carolina's playing Clemson tomorrow at 9:30. Because your boys got to be at work at 5 a.m. And I can't miss no daggone Carolina basketball. so they don't want me to
bro. I'm gonna miss it. So you gonna have to watch it for me. I'm gonna miss it for sure.
I got you. I got you, man. And then if we win that game, then we gotta play Duke at 9:30 the next night. And guess what? Your boys got to wake up at 5 a.m. the next morning too. So they just trying not to let me get no sleep, man.
Then I'll watch that one for you because I think that's a Friday night. So I'll watch that one Friday night. I got you on that. We just don't flip flop. That's all.
Yeah, man. So I think Clemson's gonna be tough, man. Clemson's gonna be tough, and I'll be honest with you, man. One of the things that kind of is scary to me is if Carolina ends up not winning a game in the tournament. If they lose to Clemson and I think it's a losable game. I think it's a losable game with what we kind of have going on right now. And so I can see Carolina winning. I can also see Carolina losing that game. And then it's just, to me, that takes a lot of juice out of everything. So, I'm really on the fence, man, with the Clemson game because, a lot of it is just, we played them real close. Obviously the last time and, some defensive things that I don't know if Carolina's going to duplicate, and then if everything works out perfectly and we end up beating Clemson again, because it's hard to beat a team twice in a year, and Carolina's already got that win. Clemson wants a little bit of get back, and that's so obviously
Wake Forest.
Exactly. So does Wake Forest, right?
And Virginia Tech,
right? So whoever we end up playing is going to want some get back. And Wake Forest might even have a little bit even bigger chip on their shoulder just because, they're playing Carolina.
Yeah.
But, if we get to the Duke game, and me and you talked a little bit about this, man, before we got on here, I really believe that Carolina straight up, man, even with Foster on the floor, and I know that I'm going to get a lot of Duke fans probably hating on me for this and probably some Tar Heels saying, bro, you out of your mind. I feel like Carolina straight up can play with those guys, and I feel like they can beat them. One of the things that really hurt us in the Duke game at Tyler Hansborough Indoor Stadium was the double team off the jump, man, 15 feet out on Cam Boozer. The guy's IQ is through the roof. He's too good of a passer. And I'm sure that John Shire probably told him before the game, hey, bro, they're going to double team you out high. Either find Malik Brown down there. And he had a couple of dunks, man, early in the game wide open, where Boozer just immediately found him in the paint, and he goes up there for the flush, and it's an easy 2. Or he knows that, I throw this ball out to the top, and somebody is camping on the other side on that 3-point line, and now we just got step in threes. And we know that Duke, that's what they do. They shoot.
Yeah. That
and
is
so
true.
you cannot give them, the defense can't shift so much, man, to where we're giving them wide open threes, man. And so I really hope that if we play them again, we just completely scrap that, because what I think worked was letting Boozer go one-on-one, whether he had Henry Vasar on him or he had Jaron Stevenson, whoever was guarding him, Zayden High, and just when he backs you down in the middle or down under the basket, bro, you got Jaron Stevenson, you got some guys with some length and some athleticism, bro, come weak side and throw that thing in the second stinking row.
That's it.
And Jaron did that a couple of times. There was a couple of times where, because I don't think Cameron Boozer is not an above the rim player. He's a strong kid. He's gonna back you down under the rim, but he ain't. It is not like Tyler Harris, but he's gonna drop step dunk on you, bro. I don't see that from him. So I would like us to play them more straight up, dude. Let Jaron come weak side, man, and just throw that mess every time he tries to lay it up off the glass. And if we do that, I think we can beat him.
It's the easiest thing to do. Again, when you do stuff like that, instead of as soon as he catches the ball, you double him. You're making yourself too predictable.
Yes.
It's too easy, and especially against a team like Duke, for them to figure that part out.
Right.
So, mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. At least mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't be so predictable. Yeah, 100%. And if we do that, I think we can win. And I do believe that Carolina can cut down the nets. I still believe we have enough talent, especially, maybe 6-7 deep. If guys like Luka will stop putting the ball on the floor, just catch and shoot, big dog. Stop dribbling into traffic. Stop. He had 1 assist, 4 turnovers in that game. And I love the kid's moxie, man. I love the kid. He's hustling. He's playing a little bit more harder on the defensive side of the floor. A big dog, man. Look, man, I need you just coming off of screens, catching and shooting that thing, bro. We got to stop with all this dribbling stuff, man. The ball's too far away from the body. He's getting the ball taken from him, and it's their turnovers waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So if Luka can catch and shoot, if we play them straight up, I still think we can compete with anybody in the ACC. And I still believe that obviously this is predicated on matchups without Caleb Wilson. I still think Carolina can at least get to the second weekend. Now, quick question before we get to our little bonus topic. What is a reasonable expectation for Carolina? And I'm talking about NCAA tournament wise. And then what would you say would be like a huge letdown? And this is given the current roster, what we have right now.
I think Sweet 16, Elite 8, and going for the ceiling, for the floor, going out in the first round.
First round, yeah. Now, would you say let's say we make it to the second day of the first week, we get to the round of 32, and we kind of flame out? How you feel about that? Say it's a close game. How you feel about that?
And we win.
We take an L. We don't get to the Sweet 16. Is that a letdown? Is that a letdown, or do you think it's like, hey man, I can see that because of?
I don't think it's a letdown, but again, and this just as much as I do. Just being in the space that we're both in, we know what's gonna happen if they get to the round of 32, or whatever. Again, it goes back to that damn if you do, damn if you don't. Mm-hmm. Regardless of how far we go, a lot of people are still going to throw and put the blame on Hubert. They're going to find something to nitpick about. Oh, you should have
Right.
called timeouts. Why you didn't use your timeouts? Why would you put Jaren Stevenson in at a time like this?
Right.
Why did you let Luka tie his shoe with 3 minutes to go on the clock? Like, they're gonna find something.
Something, right.
They're gonna find something.
Yeah.
And you know, I think it's still. I think we're still good. I think it's still a successful season.
If
no
we make
doubt.
it to the round of 32.
I think it's still a successful season because again, nobody had us doing what we did this year.
Right.
Like just imagine this, Russ. If we didn't lose to Cal, if we didn't lose to Stanford, and what's some of the other games? Let's see. Cal,
State,
Stanford,
Miami,
State. I give it State. I give it Miami. I give
Michigan
it that loss
State,
to Duke.
SMU.
Cal, Stanford. Ugh. Okay, let's say we didn't lose to SMU. Let's say we didn't lose to Michigan State either. Right? That's 4 games. Carolina would be
27-4.
27 and
28-3.
3. 28 and 3.
Yeah.
Like, so like you got to sit back and think about that. And yeah, the Cal and the Stanford, those were the turnaround games.
Yeah, that was
After
that West Coast trip was rough.
Yeah. So I guarantee if we play Cal and Stanford now, we beat them without Caleb.
Well, Stanford just got beat by Pitt in the first round. You know
See what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I mean, they scored 63 points today against Pitt, but they hit 95 on us.
Right.
What are we doing?
Yeah, man.
What are we doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's still a successful season. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna and maybe this is a little biased, man, but I'm gonna put the bar at the Sweet 16. I know Caleb is out. I still think, you know, at Carolina, I'm trying to think of, you know, let's say we get a 6 seed, play a 6-11, and then we get what I think you beat that 11 seed, you get like a 3 or a 4. I'd have to look at I still feel like at Carolina, man, down your best player, we should have enough firepower, man, to, you know, get over the hump to get to that second weekend, man. You know, if we shoot well. If we shoot well, man. And I think that, you know, maybe this is just, like I said, I think that it should be the standard yearly. Like, for me, and I know this is setting the bar super high, but Sweet 16 should be like, damn, you know, we get put out in the Sweet 16. It's like, damn, bro, like it was a down year, man.
Yeah.
Like, I like real talk, man. Like, if we get put out in the Sweet 16, it's like, dang, bro, we were a little down this year.
Yeah.
You know, because I think Carolina is a top 5 program. You know, and so if it's a top 5 program, I think I was listening to Inside Carolina, man. Shout out to those guys. But they some crazy stat, man. Like Carolina's only won. Maybe I'm getting this wrong, but it was like 3 ACC tournaments, man. And then, you know, they're talking about like at the heyday, 2013 to 2017, when they, or 2014 to 2017, whatever it is, when they won the national title in 2017, they went 4 years, bro, where they had 3 number 1 seeds and the number 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. And you're like, well, that's the standard, you know. So far, you know, since Roy's last 2 years, we went, you know, we had, I can't remember what we were the year that the last year. Well, we lost to Wisconsin in the first round, right? When did Wisconsin?
Well, last year, round? No, that was Ole Miss.
No, not last year. Roy's last year.
Oh, Roy's last year.
I think was Wisconsin in the first round, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you might be right. There
was no tournament. They weren't going to make the tournament. There was no tournament. Then, excuse me, they didn't make the tournament. Then the next year, I think Roy's last year, they lost in the first round. Then HD, we went on a miraculous run as an 8 seed. You know, so we've got, I think we're an 8 seed, 6 seed, you know, another, just kind of like
8 seed his first year when we went to the championship game.
22, yeah. And then obviously RJ's second to last year, we were a 1 seed and lost in the Sweet 16. And then last year we were the last team to get in. So now we coming over here, let's say hypothetically a 6 seed. Like to me, man, like the standard's got to be a down year as a Sweet 16. I know that's setting the bar high, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Bro, come on, man, that's unrealistic."
But that's fair. That's fair, though, Russ. I think that's more than fair, honestly. Yeah. Like considering the fact, I think what people have to understand, like, just name some things that Hubert hasn't done well. Okay, they said that Hubert can't recruit. Why we ain't getting no recruits in? We pick up Maximo. We pick up Dylan Mingo. We got Malloy Smith.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah,
okay, they said that HD isn't winning any games or whatever. We're 24-7.
Yeah, I mean that's fair enough, man.
They said that we wasn't gonna beat Duke. Duke was gonna sweep us. We got a W a few weeks ago in Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
No matter how many points you win by, you still got the W. That's all that matters.
Got the W, 100%.
So now what? Like, what else does the man need to do?
Yeah.
What else does he? We've won without our star player, our leading scorer, player, 5-star. Now,
I mean, that's fair enough, bro. That's fair enough.
They said he couldn't get nobody to the NBA. Caleb Wilson going to the NBA as a top lottery pick.
Well, that's the perfect segue, man. So let's go ahead and talk about C-Dub.
You like how I did that, right, Russ? You like that, right?
Let's go ahead and talk about C-Dub real quick, man. So that is a perfect segue right there. So obviously, my man Caleb Wilson put out a very cryptic, what is it, a tweet? What did he put out, man? I can't remember. Was it on X?
A comment.
He put out a comment, and basically the caption was, run it back with the question mark. And so my question for you is, what do you think, we got a couple of minutes here, man. What do you think is the realistic expectation that C-Dub, probably being a lottery pick, would entertain coming back to Carolina? Why would he do that? And what are the things that kind of would give you that idea?
So, oh man, I'm so glad we jumped on this one or whatever, because we just had an episode on Sunday. Me, Ray Terry, and Terrence Newby. And make sure that y'all go and check it out, man. Subscribe to the channel. Go check out the episode for sure. But we had this episode on Sunday, and I mentioned to both of them a lot of the pros why I could definitely see Caleb coming back. And keep in mind, this episode was before the comment that he made. So I C-Dub, you might be watching some of my videos. You might be watching, but if you are, hey, that's what's up. I appreciate it. But I like the fact that the reason why I think that there's a strong possibility that Caleb Wilson could return to UNC is because for many different reasons. Number one, you never got the chance to play in Cameron. That's big. Like you'll never get the opportunity to do that because of the injury. Right. So that was one of the biggest, that's huge, whether people want to see that or not and look at that or not. Mm-hmm. You didn't really get a lot of the accolades that you wanted as a freshman.
Right.
I think that there's some unfinished business in regards to that. I think you probably wanted like
right there. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you wanted like ACC Rookie of the Year. You did make first team All ACC. But things like that. He wants his jersey in the rafters. That was one of the main things that he said before the season started. Going out, the kid loves probably more than we do, but he loves UNC.
I know, man.
I mean, this kid is a impactful player. He's not just a ball player. He's impactful. Mm-hmm. Before the Kansas game, a few hours before the Kansas game, he said, let's make it a whiteout.
Right.
And they did it.
Yeah. And they did.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know one player as long as I've been watching UNC ever do that. Ever.
Right.
Like, so the fact of how much he loves UNC, for him to say something like that, because I've had this discussion with others, it's very different than it is with the Darren Petersons or the AJ DeBanza saying it. Right. Because number one, Darren Peterson, we know that the chemistry isn't right between you and Bill Self. We know that. You're trolling.
Yeah.
AJ DeBanza, I could definitely see you coming back more than I see Peterson, just because of the fact you said your mom wants you to get an education. And let's be honest, if you go to the NBA, you're not 9 times out of 10, a lot of them don't come back to get an education.
You're not going to school. Yeah. Right.
That's just the bottom line. But the fact of Caleb and like of how much he loves the university, how much he's engaged with the university and the fans and the students on campus, it's incredible for a freshman. Like, you would think he was a senior.
Right.
And he's already making money. So yeah, you could go pro now and get that big money and everything, but what's stopping you from holding out another year where there's a possibility you could actually really go number 1 next year? It's still going to be a lottery pick next year.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So you're getting your NIL, you're getting your bag. It ain't like you hurting or scrapping for money.
Right.
And we've seen what a lot of the legends do coming back to college when they could have been lottery picks, top 3 and things like that. Like, I mean, so there's so many different reasons,
right,
why Caleb Wilson could actually come back. And let's be honest, Caleb Wilson is not one of those to troll.
Right.
He doesn't give me that vibe like Darren Peterson.
I agree.
Or, you know, like when he says something, it's because he really feels it.
Yeah.
Not because of him trolling.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, so many people just think that he's gone and all of that and stuff or whatever, but that's only because of what the people have been used to in the past.
Right.
Times have changed.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day,
a lot of money in college basketball. Yeah.
Like back in the days, Hansborough and all of them or whatever, if they wanted to leave early, it was because of the fact a lot of the times, and I'm just using Hansborough as an example. I'm not really saying him, but a lot of these players might have family financial issues.
Right.
To where it was like, yo, I gotta go. It's not like that no more.
That's a great point, man. Yeah.
That's not like that no more.
That's a great point, man. Yeah, I won't be mad at all. I mean, I'll completely understand. I will completely understand if he says, "Hey, man, I'm gonna go ahead and make this jump." But I agree with you, man. I think it's an interesting thing to throw out there if you're not at least strongly considering it. And I think that Caleb is different in the sense that just from what I feel like I can take from him is I really think that there are things that are still important to him, man. You know, when he said he was going to take belt to ass to everybody, he got to do that against Duke and Chapel Hill. I mean, he single-handedly kept us afloat in the first half.
Yes, he did.
You know,
yes, he did.
He did not get to do that against NC State. And then you got Quadir Copeland and, and Vin Allen Lubin with the little belt and everything. And obviously they're not going to be there next year. But if you don't think that didn't, like Quadir coming up to him and saying, "Hey, bro, next time, lace it up." I'm sure Caleb was thinking to himself, "Bro, I will punch on you," So that impacts things. Like you said, he did not get a chance to play in Cameron Indoor Stadium. It was Tyler Hansbrough Indoor Stadium. My bad. Mm-hmm. He didn't get to play in there. And I think these things are important to him. Like we're talking about. Getting your jersey in the rafter, that is important to him. And if Caleb returns, because right now the simple fact of the matter is he's got injuries that he's recovering from on both hands. I don't know how that's going to affect the draft. I don't. Because I think the kid is a hooper. You don't think it will?
I don't think it's going to affect his draft stock or anything at all at the moment.
Okay.
I think he still goes top 5 for sure.
Top 5, yeah. But if he returns, he could go number 1 overall. And I don't foresee any reason why, if he can duplicate anything what he did like while he was in this year, that is not the case. That is not the case.
And I'll tell you this, the one last thing, Russ, what I will tell you, because having this discussion with Ray Terry said, with the injury and all of that and stuff or whatever, he has to go because he could be prone to having another injury next season. While that might be true, however, at the same time, Caleb is smart enough to know he's going to take the precautionary steps next season if he returns to make sure the injury stuff, like, let's hope it don't happen.
Right.
Like, he's not going to be in practice dunking hard to break his thumb again. Yeah. I think he's going to know that mentality is just going to kick in.
Right.
So, I just listen, I've been right about a lot of things here lately. And that's the reason why, my motto is the man that gets no credit from those that use debit.
Right.
Like, that's just what it is. I was right about Jaden Young before the season started, that Jaden Young could possibly end up in the lineup. He ended up in the lineup. I was right about Jalen Withers last season about being the X Factor player, because we even said all of this on the Battle of the Blues season episodes last season.
Right.
I was right about that. Yeah. Like, this ain't stuff that I just pull out of my rear. Like,
right.
These are things that, the eye test, just reading the room, looking at the tea leaves, you can pick up on this stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like, you really can. And I'm not saying, that is not me saying like I know something. I don't want people out there to think that it's like, oh, Zell knows something. No, it's not something that I know, because I don't want nobody holding that against me. It's just from my perspective and from what I see. I've been watching this game for too long. Yeah. And the times have changed. And it could be a possibility. Just don't be surprised.
Don't be surprised.
If you got a front court with him and Henry Vasar and Maximo at the 3 next season. Right.
Yep, 100%, man. It's completely within, in today's college landscape, with all the money that you can make, the NIL, you get in your bag and everything, it is completely within the realm of reality, man, to see, especially with the unfinished business, man. I really think that is a under thought of aspect of this, because a lot of I think Caleb is different. I think he came here to be great. He wants to be great for UNC. He wants to be remembered, legacy, all that stuff, man. He's trying to. He wants to be remembered, and he should be remembered, and he probably would be remembered if he didn't get hurt. You know what I'm saying? And I think that there's some unfinished business that maybe he believes that he has to attend to. So don't be surprised if he decides to come back. I love him no matter what. I think he's a great kid, man. I think he's a phenomenal basketball player. It's been a while since we had a talent like him in Chapel Hill. I'm a huge fan, absolute huge fan of everything Caleb Wilson, but don't be surprised, man, if he decides to come back to Carolina. And that would obviously be a great thing for us, man. So, Zell, man, I appreciate you once again, big dog, for coming over here and chopping it up with me, man. We're at about an hour right now. And so if you guys enjoyed this content, man, let me know down in the comment section, man, and make sure that you get over there to 94 feet of UNC and you check out my guy, Lenzell, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. Go like some of his content. He does some great things, man. And like I said, Lenzell's got he's got the stuff right there. Let him know, Lenzell. Go ahead before we get out of here, bro.
Yeah, man. So listen, man, we got of course, like Russ just said, man, the 94 feet of UNC podcast. Make sure you get over there, subscribe to it, man. Follow me on the socials, on Instagram, on Twitter, at 94 feet of UNC. Great content over there. Again, I learned from the best. I learned from Russ. So the guy right there, the GOAT. For sure. But, we got we had a lot of great episodes over there, man. Ray Terry, Terrence Newby, also part of the podcast crew now. And then we just brought on Neil, and TJ, of course, or whatever. So we got some big things lined up for the off season, coming into next season, you know, just things like that. So please get over there, subscribe to the channel, man. I appreciate the love. And just real quick, if you all, because I'm really trying to push this, Russ, because it's so tough or whatever. But make sure that you all, if you like UNC women's basketball, follow the ladies over at Heels in the Paint. Like for sure. This is the very first UNC women's basketball podcast in history. I got to make sure I put that word on there. History.
Right.
Like, support the ladies over there, Tink and Maddie, man. They doing their thing over there or whatever. They got some big things lined up as well for women's basketball, for the Tar Heel Lady Heels. So, you know, but yeah, man, we doing some big things or whatever. Of course, you know, Russ is always welcome over there. That's another home to him. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you for having me. It's always an honor. I love talking hoops with you and everything, and just always a good time, man, when we can link up for sure and make something happen.
100%, baby. So like I said, man, I appreciate you once again, Lenzell, man. And for all my Tar Heels out there, you already know, baby. Win, lose, or draw, man, it is a great day to be a Tar Heel. We'll catch y'all on the next one, baby. Go Heels.
Go Heels.